With Valentine's Day just around the corner, now is the perfect excuse to have a play with some skincare and makeup that will have you looking and feeling gorgeous. Welcome to the Korean Beauty Show, where we're talking all things Korean skincare, makeup, and more. If you want to learn about the hottest trending products and ingredients straight from South Korea, then this is the podcast for you. Each week, we'll be diving in to take a look at the latest trends, as well as all the tips and tricks you need to perfect your K-beauty routine. I'm your host, Lauren Lee, professional K-beauty expert and founder of Korean beauty platform Style Story. Today's episode is brought to you by Jellicoe Bubble Tea Steam Cream, the only product you need for glowing glass skin this Valentine's Day. Hello and welcome back to another week, another episode of the Korean Beauty Show podcast. No matter whether you have a hot date, you're just going out with friends, or even just staying in, the 14th of February is a great excuse for me to discuss some really great K-beauty makeup and skincare essentials that you need for glowing, dewy skin and minimal makeup. So on today's episode, I'm going to share some of my favorite K-beauty products that will help complete your look. If we haven't met already, then my name is Lauren Lee and I am the host of this podcast where we talk all about K-beauty skincare, makeup, and all the tips and tricks that you need to incorporate Korean beauty products into your routine. So that's just a little bit about me. I hope that if today is your first episode listening to the show, that it will be the first of many. We have a whole backlog of episodes that you can sink your teeth into and catch up. Today is actually episode number 39, so that means there are 38 more juicy episodes for you to sink your teeth into. And for everyone else that is back again for another week, welcome back. You know, I'm always super glad that you guys are here with me and that you choose to spend your time with me because there are so many other things that you could be doing. So a big welcome back to all of our golden oldies as well. All right, so to jump straight into today's episode, so obviously Valentine's Day, whether you're single or loved up, it's just a good time to indulge a little bit. And, you know, this is really just a little bit of fun. I know some people are not into Valentine's Day and think it's a little bit of a hoax, or some people get really stressed out that they don't have a date or whatnot. I know for me, I spent many, many Valentine's days without a date. And what we used to do when I was at school, I remember, is everyone would bring like, you know, some chocolates or a rose or something like that. And we would give it out in our friendship group. And I always thought that was really, really nice. And I remember one year when I came to Korea, I thought I would do the same thing. I had a Korean tutoring class on the morning of Valentine's Day with my tutor. So I thought, oh, look, it's Valentine's Day. I should do something nice for her. So I brought along just a little thing of chocolates that I picked up on my way in. So nothing too fancy. And she was so flustered and she was like, oh, Lauren, do you love me? And I was like, whoa, okay. Obviously, in some cultures, the giving flowers and things like that does not translate as well. But I know certainly in Australia and in Brisbane, where I grew up, that used to be a pretty common thing that we would do amongst us girls. So I don't know, your mileage may vary with that. But if you don't have anyone, you know, special in your life, then perhaps maybe get together with some friends and give them, you know, something like that. And I know a lot of single people do tend to hang out together on Valentine's Day as well. So hopefully some of these tips will be useful for you, even if you are not in a couple. On the other end of the spectrum, I know plenty of married people who have been married for years are just like, oh gosh, it's all too much effort. So you know what? Even if you're just going to be sitting on the couch at home, it's just a good opportunity to make yourself feel nice for the day. So I am going to share some products that I think are perfect for Valentine's Day, starting with your pre-date prep. So this is ahead of or in the lead up to Valentine's Day. So the first thing is, obviously, if you've got a pimple popping up in the lead up to Valentine's Day, you can nip that in the bud before the day comes. And the best way to do that is obviously with a pimple patch the night before your date. I find that the spot is really reduced if you put a perfect pimple patch on overnight. And usually the redness has come down as well, and it's just a lot flatter and easy to deal with. Now, if the day arrives itself, Valentine's Day, and you do still have a spot, my top tip, I love Subi Perfect Pimple Patches to flatten the spot with my makeup on, and also I prefer it to concealer. In the past, I used to try and use concealer to hide a pimple, and what I found is that no matter what brand, no matter how good the concealer was on other types of spots, when it comes to raised bumps like pimples, concealer really just highlights them. It's almost like it clumps around the edges of the spot and like just draws more attention to it. So what I do now is I use my pimple patches in two different ways. The first way is as they're intended, which is just you put it on, clean skin, and then do your skincare around it. And the second way is instead of concealer. So if I have a spot during the day when I need to do my makeup, what I do is do all of my makeup and then put a Subi Perfect Pimple Patch over the top of the spot with my makeup on. And I find it still stays on, it still stays in place. They're really very sticky. So it takes it totally away, and in my opinion works better than concealer for me. So I don't know, maybe I'm using the wrong technique when I'm applying my concealer, but whatever the case may be, I've tried so many different things and I've had so many different pimples that I've been trying to cover, and concealer just doesn't do it for me. I find it makes it really, really obvious, and just I feel like it does. It makes it so much more obvious where the spot is, whereas if you've just flattened it out, you can't really see it. So that is my tip. Pre-date prep, number one is try and get a pimple patch on the earliest you possibly can, but if one pops up on the day, put your makeup on first and then put the pimple patch on over on top of your makeup. That's the way that I found that works the best for me. Now, my other pre-date prep tip is to spend a little bit of time and do a sheet mask. So one of my favorites for just an instant glow up is Tosuwong's Pure Propolis Mask. You only need about 15 minutes with it. And there are a couple of different ways that I found to get the most out of your mask. Ideally, if you have time, so if you're not going straight from work to wherever you're going to be, then ideally you would do the mask right before you put your makeup on, because that helps your makeup just glide right on really easily, and it also plumps your skin out as well, which just makes your makeup sit better on top of your skin. Obviously, if you're a guy listening to this, you don't need to bother with makeup. You can just do your Tosuwong Pure Propolis mask or whatever other mask that you've got lying around, and then you can go, like, lucky you. And look, to be honest, like, a lot of people these days I find are wearing less and less makeup as well. So you might even feel good enough to just mask. Your skin will be so much plumper and look hydrated and radiant and glowing that you might even be able to forego makeup altogether. I know a lot of people enjoy putting on makeup. They love creating different makeup looks and things like that. So that is totally fine. But if you're the type of person that doesn't really like makeup or doesn't wear a lot anyway, then this might be also another way to just skip that altogether. The thing that I really like about the Tosuwong masks is that they have a really thick type of material that they're using for the mask sheet, and it's quite luxurious feeling, and it's also a wider fit, which means that it fits a whole range of different face shapes. I know some of the masks tend to be a little bit small and you have to sort of pull them around your mouth and your nose to get them sitting right, but the Tosuwong ones I've found to be really, really high quality. Each mask has 23 grams of the essence in it, which is actually quite a lot if you think about how much essence or serum you would get in a product. So they're a really nice, cheap and cheerful way to just totally prep your skin in anticipation of whatever you're doing on Valentine's Day. Now, if you get to the night of Valentine's Day and you have big plans, then this would be the prep that I would recommend. The first product is Laneija's Glowy Makeup Serum. So this product is visually so pretty. It comes in a little glass jar with a little dropper, and the pink texture is just like, it is exactly my style. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God. But the good news is that it's a really decent product. So basically what it will do for you is fake a natural dewy glow. It makes your skin look really, really radiant, and it works beautifully underneath BB cream and also foundation. And it actually will help your makeup last for longer. So you can think of it as basically a hydrating, radiant base and primer. That's how I would describe it. And it leaves your skin looking smooth and glowing. So again, this is just another totally cheap product. If you don't have naturally flawless skin, which let's face it, most of us don't, then this is a really good way to just totally fake your way there. So that one is Lanesia's Glowy Makeup Serum, and it's also pink and pretty. So, you know, I'm totally there anyway. Now, my next product has been an absolute staple in my routine since at least 2014. I have gone and tried so many other products, but I always keep coming back to it, and that is Skin 79's Super Plus BB Cream. My shade is Hot Pink, which is the light beige shade, but they have gold, which is their original shade, which is slightly darker, around about a Korean BB cream shade 23. Then they also have a snail intensive version, which is a pink base, I believe. And then their bronze one is for people that have like a beautifully bronzed complexion and sort of darker tan skin, I suppose you could say. With most Korean BB creams, I know we've spoken about this before on the podcast, the shade range is pretty much non-existent, and that's because they're really catering to people in Korea. It's very unusual that brands will come out with shades that will cater for people internationally. And that's just because of the people that live here and buy the products are basically all Koreans. There's very few foreigners even that live in Korea. So it's not a massive market for companies. So with that caveat out of the way, these BB creams are probably the ones that I would say were responsible for launching the BB cream craze around the world. And there are so many brands that have come out with a whole bunch of different products in the meantime, but these ones are just, I know I've spoken to so many people who are like, oh, I've gone out and I've tried all these other things, and then I rediscovered Skin 79 again and wondered why I stopped using them in the first place. That's this kind of brand. You're like, oh, they really did get it right the first time. So I find that they are non-cakey, they're super forgiving, and they fake perfect skin, basically. It's perfect skin in a bottle is how I would describe it. They blend dark spots and things like that really, really well. And best of all, it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything on your skin, which is a pet peeve of mine. I really hate the feeling of my skin being weighed down by a foundation or a BB cream, and you do not get that with this. So that is why I love Skin 79. And the other thing is, they don't look like you're wearing a lot of makeup, even though their coverage is really great. When other people see you, they won't be like, wow, you're wearing so much makeup. And I know a lot of guys say that they find that a bit of a turn off too, if a girl looks like she's totally caked it on. So perfect for Valentine's. Everyone's happy. The person wearing it, everyone that sees it thinks that you're, naturally have perfect skin without wearing a lot of makeup. So that is a total win in my book. Now, the next product on my list is one for my oily skinned friends, and this is Innisfree's No Sebum Mineral Powder. So this can keep shine at bay throughout your date, and the best thing is that it comes with a handy little compact, so you can touch up on the go. You can just put it in your makeup bag at the beginning of the day or bring it with you. It's totally fine, and yeah, it will keep your skin looking fresh, soft, and free from shine. So that one is just a super handy one to have around at all times, but especially on Valentine's Day if you are prone to oiliness around your T-zone. So they are just a few of the products that I would recommend checking out if you are wanting to treat yourself and give your skin a little glow up for Valentine's Day. I would love to know if anyone has a hot plan, a hot date for Valentine's Day. If so, I'm super jealous. So definitely come and find me on Instagram and let me know what your plans are. I'm at lauren.kbeauty. So I hope everyone has a great Valentine's Day when the day comes around. And that is all I have for you guys. So if you like today's episode, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss next week's episode. And then I would also love if you guys could leave a review and a rating for the show, because it really helps other people to find us. And yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. So until next time, I will see you on Style Story.